Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today we are going to give this bathroom a much needed deep cleaning. And we need to replace some hardware in the tub, so bonus. Let's get started. What I like to do before I get started is to get the shower curtain and the rug into the laundry so that they can get a nice deep cleaning as well while we clean the rest of the surfaces. To get started, let's put on some chemical-proof gloves because we are going to be using a lot of different cleaners today. If I'm just doing kind of a surface cleaning, I won't wear these, but since today I'm using a myriad of different chemicals, I want to make sure that I keep my skin safe. To start off, I really like scrubbing bubbles. It just seems to cut through all of the nasty grime a lot better than anything else I've tried. So I'm just going to give the whole toilet a nice coating. And it's okay if some gets on the floor because we're going to clean that too. I even spray the walls around the toilet because boys are messy and I don't want grossness on my walls. So I spray the floor, the trim, the side of the cabinet here, everything in proximity to the toilet. Alright, so now we're going to let that soak for a minute. Alright, I just bought these. This is a Scrub Mommy. I also have a Scrub Daddy. One has a really soft, normal sponge feel. The other is kind of more of a coarse, denser, more plasticky type. And the Scrub Daddy is the plastic kind all the way around. So, never tried these, but we're going to give it a go today. So let's get it wet. I go top down when I clean because I do the floors last. So anything that falls down is going to get cleaned up at the end. Now you hear that? The back of my toilet always pushes back because whoever put these toilets in got the wrong size, so it is not flush against the wall. So that is on our list of things to change out. But for now, we just deal with the annoying lid that comes off every now and then. If there's anything that's kind of stuck on. Get all the way down, all the way behind. Now, before I close the lid to start cleaning the walls, I'm going to pour this inside the bowl just to let it start sitting and working on the grime, and then we will scrub it when we're done with the walls. You can tell how much I scrubbed this baseboard because I've started to rub the paint off, so I do need to get some paint at some point and touch this up, but all of this dust and dog hair and grime needs to come off, so we're just going to keep scrubbing. Scrub the floor. We're going to use the rougher side first just to scrub, then we'll use the softer side to wipe up all the grime. I also like to wipe my trash can because again, it's by the toilet, and who knows how careful someone else who lives in this house is being. And now I can get down there, under it on the floor, and behind the toilet. Alright, now I'm going to take just a damp sponge and get some of this dust and dog hair off, and continuously rinsing it as I do so. The initial scrub is just to break up all of the grime and kind of just loosen it up so that then we can wipe it clean after. The big downside of having a black dog is that his black hair shows up on every surface. These tabs actually open up on the back of your toilet, and a lot of times there's nasty grime and stuff in there, so you can wash those out as well. But I'm actually gonna take these off because we put on this bidet and I know that stuff seeps in underneath the connectors. And so I wanna make sure I clean under there so that no residual smells are hanging around. And there's a little like wing nut type thing on the back that you have to take off before these screws will come out. So, actually, it's not terrible, but you can kind of see there's some nasty grime there. And so I'm gonna, again, spritz it with some scrubbing bubbles. Make sure that, whoops. Again, why I wear gloves. And then underneath is really kind of nasty. So I'm gonna give this a good spritz and let it work. And again, it's okay if things drip on the floor because we're gonna clean the floor when we're done. So these need to be cleaned. And these I just like to rinse in the sink after they have sat with the scrubbing bubbles on them for a minute. Then for the sprayers, I like to use some Clorox or Lysol wipes just to make sure that bacteria and things are not growing. Every one of these is kind of different, but they all basically have these sprayers that come out. And they really shouldn't get anything on them, but things can grow microscopically. So I like to pull them out, give them a really good scrub with the Clorox or the Lysol wipe, just to make sure that we're not spraying anything onto ourselves that's all germy and nasty. So I really like having this bidet. I never thought I'd be a bidet person, but it is fantastic. And someone in this house, Keegan, uses a lot less toilet paper now and saves us some money. So I really like this thing. There are fancier ones that are heated and all kinds of things. We just got a pretty cheap one. I can link this one on Amazon. We actually have another one in our other bathroom that's slightly different, but they're all about the same. It just hooks into your water line, so you're not using the toilet water. You're using basically the water like that would come out of the sink, or it's what fills the back of the toilet, but it never touches the toilet. So these sprayers are hygienic and clean, but if they sit in the toilet for, any length of time, they're gonna get germs on them. So that's why I always wanna make sure that I clean them very, very well. And then to make cleaning easier, I just fill a cup with water and pour very carefully over the toilet bowl, just so I can rinse all the cleaner off. And I don't have to detach the hose to like put it in the shower or whatever. So I just make a bit of a mess, but it's a little bit easier than unhooking it all and putting it in the shower. Same with these. After I scrubbed them a bit, I can just rinse them with the water. All right, let's scrub out this area here, and we are almost done with the toilet. Now, typically I don't do this every single time I clean. This is reserved for deep cleaning days. Otherwise I just kind of spray it, wipe it, typical bathroom cleaning. But this is in a definite need of a deep cleaning. The dog hair just never ends. I'm also gonna spray the hardware. It's plastic, but it still can hold nasty germs. So we'll just let those soak for a second, and then we will rinse them with our water. There we go, much better. All right, now that we have everything off, it's a lot easier to reach things in the bowl to clean. So we're gonna use our toilet brush here and get all up in the rim, underneath, as far as we can. We'll flush just to get some of that gunk out of the top. All right, this toilet seat is pretty old, and it has some dog hair just never stops. It has some discoloration, and so I'm gonna try this Scrub Daddy Power Paste that I just got. So it comes with a Scrub Mommy, and then this is the paste inside. And so you need to get your sponge wet a little bit. Ooh, it actually smells really good. And then you're gonna get some of the paste on your sponge and start going in a circular motion. Oh, I already think it's whitening it. Oh, wow. I am impressed. It's some sort of natural polisher, and you can use it on stainless steel, and you can use it on, you know, just your countertops, any really hard to get out stains on surfaces. I think that actually helped, guys. So my tub is a bit embarrassing, but you're gonna see it in a minute anyway. So let's rinse this thoroughly. Get it off my shower head there. So it definitely helped the top. The seat itself is still pretty discolored, but again, it's pretty old, so there may be no helping that. All right, so before we put the lid back on, we need to set the bidet where it's going to go and add these little covers. There we go. And so you just line up the holes, pop the screws in, and then these need to feed onto the back. So we'll have to reach under. And that little wing on the back of it helps it catch on the bottom of the toilet bowl and work as kind of like a wrench so that your screw doesn't just spin in place. But you don't want to over tighten these because they are plastic and they will break. And then just click your tabs closed and voila. Now before I had this Power Paste, I always used to use Comet in my sink. It just helps kind of scrub and bleach sinks and bathtubs and things like that. So Comet is still one of my top cleaning products. And if you have, you know, like calcium or lime or rust, CLR is a really good one. This one needs to be diluted, but you can buy just like the regular spray. So we will get into cleaning the sink. I'm gonna start by cleaning the mirror so that everything that falls, we just clean up as we work our way down. And I'm getting a clean microfiber cloth to then scrub and wipe. When you wash microfiber, you really should not use fabric softener because that fabric softener is going to stick into those fibers of your microfiber cloth and kind of clog it, and so it won't work as efficiently. This one has been through the ringer, and so it just leaves a little more dust and things behind, but it's still usable. You just have to work through some of the dust. All right, sink time. Again, scrubbing bubbles. We're gonna go ahead and take this towel off because it has been in here for a while and now it's got chemicals all over it, so we're just gonna wash it and replace it with a fresh, clean one. And we'll start in with our sponge. I just put some Comet in there and I'm just gonna leave it for a minute to start soaking up a little bit of the water here. And then I'm gonna use the rough side of my Scrub Mommy to kind of work it like I did that Power Paste. Comet does have bleach in it, so just be careful. toothbrush to try and clean this nasty drain. I do have a bit of a rust spot here, so let's see if some CLR can get rid of that. Now, like I said, this is diluted, but I'm just gonna stick my toothbrush in it. Just let that sit there for just a little while. Now I'm just taking a damp microfiber cloth to just get all of the excess powder, cleaning solution, anything like that off of the surface so it doesn't dry and get runny. Alright, we are working up a sweat here, but it's time to clean the shower. So what I like to do is take the clear shower curtain and wrap it over the shower rod just so that it's out of the way. I will spray this down and kind of clean it later, but for now we want it out of the way. Then you need to go ahead and remove all soaps out of the shelves. Anything that's in here we want it totally empty. And these loofahs have seen better days, so we're going to get some new ones, some fresh ones, and toss these. Once you have all of the soap containers and everything out, you guessed it, scrubbing bubbles time. All right, we're going in with our sponge. I'm gonna use the rough side first and just really give every inch of this surface a good scrub. Now, as you can see, I have some rust stains in the corner. The bottom of the tub is very discolored and stained. I also have some rust on this shelf where my husband's shaving cream can was. So let's get some power paste and see if it does anything to help that. Well, that one not so much. Let's try the other one. Ooh, this one's working. Cool. Alright, let's see if power paste can get rid of some of this really stuck on 50-year-old staining. Well, it helped a bit, but I think some of these stains are just so old that the only way to get rid of them is just to get a new tub, which is on our list, but it's low on the priority list. Okay, now for the shower curtain, the clear liner, we're going to use this Wet and Forget that my mom got me. You're just supposed to be able to spray it on, let it sit, and then wash it off. So we're going to spray it on. I just threw the fabric curtain in the dryer with the rugs, so we'll let this sit until those are done. I'll spray it off and we'll put the curtains all back together. magic eraser. Now I can't find the pad that goes on my steam mop, so we're just gonna use a microfiber cloth. It's gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna spray just a little bit of scrubbing bubbles on the floor. All right, before we go get our decorative shower curtain, we're gonna go ahead and rinse the set and forget, wet and forget, whatever it's called. All right, our shower curtain is clean. So we're gonna go ahead and just hang it back up. I like to do both ends first so it's not dragging on the ground. The shower curtain's done, so let's lay our rug back out now that the floor is dry after steam mopping. So now the bathroom is completely deep cleaned. It looks so much better. Everything looks fresh. Now we need to replace that hardware. All right guys, let's get started on this hardware. My drill is almost dead, so hopefully it'll work long enough to get just the hardware out. This is my husband's Band-Aid fix when it fell off. This piece broke, and then our drain itself either corroded out, broke out, I'm not really sure. There we go. That's nasty, so let's clean that. And the new cover that I ordered has 2 screw holes instead of 1 in the center, so I'm going to take these kind of placeholders out. So drains are supposed to have a cross member that makes like a T, but I poured some apparently really bad drain cleaner down this and totally corroded away the metal cross member. So we're gonna have to get creative here. I watched a YouTube video on how to get this out using a hammer and some pliers. So I brought some different tools to try, so here we go. So the idea is to kind of wedge the tools into the drain. Oh, it's working, guys. You wedge it and then just slowly work it and twist it. There we go. I'll link the YouTube video below of the lady I learned this from, because what a lifesaver. Even if I had the special drain tool, it hooks onto those cross members, so it wouldn't have done any good. Now I can just work it by hand. All that goop is plumber's putty, and so we're gonna have to replace that as well, but luckily my husband has some. So let's go get the new assembly and get it put in. So here is our old drain. You can tell that drain cleaner like corroded everything about it. So I'm pretty sure that's part of the cross member there. So lucky we are replacing this because that wouldn't have lasted much longer. So we'll just put these together, and then I'm going to take this old plumber's putty out and throw it in this bag with the trash. I'm also going to take this rubber gasket out. Yuck. Now let's clean that. Sorry, I didn't think. So here is my new drain and overflow cover. So I'm going to take the new rubber gasket off and wedge it in between the drain and the tub and get it centered. And then I'm going to take my plumber's putty here and get a good handful, kind of work it, and then roll it into a long noodle. So now we're going to place this all the way around the top of the new plug. Rip off the extra, put it back, it's reusable. Make sure it's all the way around the top there. And I'm going to take the plug itself out just to make it easier. And make sure that is pretty centered. And gently start working this in, making sure not to cross thread anything. So I don't have the special tool, but I'm just going to go ahead and put my needle nose pliers in here with a wrench. And tighten that up. All right. It's about as tight as I can get it. Now normally some plumber's putty would spew out of the side, so we'll have to just check and see. So I'm going to put the plug back in, run a little bit of water, so I think we're good. Let me check with Keegan downstairs, who's in the basement under the drain. Keegan, any water? Okay. All right, that part is done. So I've put the 2 screws into our new overflow cover, and I'm gonna wind them up to the holes here without cross-threading them. There we go. Make sure it's not wiggly. There's a gap at the bottom. And I think that's a job done. Now we just need to rinse out all this dirt I tracked in with my shoes. Well guys, that is a job done. I always find it so satisfying if I have a lot of things on a to-do list for one room and I can get them all done in one afternoon. It's just the best feeling. So I did, the deep cleaning that was on my list. I washed the rug and the shower curtain, and I replaced the hardware that has been sitting there for quite a while now. So everything in here is done. I feel like I can breathe, and I'm just excited to have a really nice clean bathroom. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment down below. What are some of your favorite cleaning products, favorite cleaning tools, any good cleaning tips that you might have? Send them my way. I'm always looking for new things to try. So I hope to see you guys very, very soon, and I hope you have a great night. Thanks guys. Bye.